on digital radio, on the app, on your smartphone, on X, YouTube, and Facebook. The Sportscast. Expect the unexpected.
The Donut Bag presented by The Sportscast.
The Donut Bag, hosted by Joey Bag of Donuts. And here's your host, Joey Bag of Donuts.
Well, what a difference a month makes. The last time we talked, it was about a month ago. It was right before the NHL season started, and we were saying things like, are the Penguins going to finish last? Are they going to get a lottery pick? Are they going to, maybe they'll tank to get McKenna? Are they going to trade Crosby because they'll be so bad? And here we are. They have one of the best records in the NHL. What the hell happened?
Maybe it was just as simple as they needed a coaching change. That is
Steelers, are you listening?
Yeah, exactly. That is a team that has bought into a system that's playing out there. And, the loss to the Jets notwithstanding, I mean, the Jets, they're a really good team. Yeah. They've looked great. I mean, they are seemingly creating offense from defense. The goaltending's been pretty good. It could be a little bit better, I would say, but pretty good. There's only been a couple of games this season where I thought Erik Karlsson looked like he did last year. For the most part, he's been making good decisions, as has Chris Letang. And Sidney Crosby and Evgeny Malkin still look like they're 10 years younger than they actually are. It's crazy. I mean, at the time we're talking here, Evgeny Malkin's tied for fourth in the league total points.
It is unbelievable. And it might just might be a change in coach. Yeah, they got different players. There are a few different players, but it might just be, I mean, it's the Penguins under Mike Sullivan. How many times did they have a lead in the third period and play absolute garbage defensively and not even try to play defense and give up that lead and lose? We saw that so many times, and now they're actually protecting leads. It might have been that simple that converts losses into wins. It might that's that one simple thing of actually playing defense. That might be it.
It's, I mean, they, at least the last two seasons, they would have made the playoffs if they would have protected a third period lead maybe two more times than they did.
Right.
And that's really all that they needed, especially 2 seasons ago when they missed the playoffs by 1 point, 2 points. It's just wild that they all of a sudden are playing this good in a season where people were picking them to finish, 29th, 30th in the league. And now when you look at it, it'd be pretty shocking if they didn't make the playoffs. When you look at the record that they have through 10 games and, look back historically at that record through 10 games, I think it's something like 70% of those teams make the playoffs with a record after that record they had after 10 games.
Yeah. If they went 500 the rest of the way, they probably end up making the playoffs. Yeah. It's crazy. Another big shock is, another thing we were saying is, well, they got these two kids and they're playing for 9 games, and obviously they'll go down to junior, and it'll be nice to have them for 9 games or whatever. I think at least one of them is stick. Can you believe how good Kindle is playing in particular? It's maddening. It's just so surprising.
And it's in pretty limited minutes because he's essentially playing the third line. And I'm imagining what he could do in a top 6 role. He's 18. So let's not give him 20 minutes a night yet or anything like that. But, it makes you wonder for how good he's been, what he could do eventually in a top 6 role.
I'm in shock. I'm in absolute shock. The building through the draft in the NHL just really annoyed me, because it's like it was almost like drafting in baseball. Like, okay, you draft this kid, and then maybe 3, 4, 5 years from now, maybe you'll see him on the big club. And here, this kid they just drafted is on the team and contributing greatly. Like, is he just that special?
I think so. I mean, he doesn't look out of place. It looks very natural to him. Even when, he's given a game off just for load management, he comes back out the next game and looks like he hasn't missed a beat. I think the Penguins got a really good player there. And I think, like I said, eventually, maybe not even this season, but eventually he's going to be a star in that top 6 role.
Crazy. It's crazy. Brunick is also playing well, but it's a different situation. Do you think they're going to keep him, or is he going back?
I think he's going to go back, because they seem to be a little bit more worried about his load management, and I don't think that they're ready for him to be like a regular in the lineup. Though, I mean, in my opinion, I would rather see him stay here and not see as much of Connor Clifton and Matt Dumba.
Right.
I mean, Dumba does bring the physical element that the D really lacks. But I think overall, I think that they would rather have him go back. And I'm not saying it's an easy decision for them, but I think in the end, he might go back. There's just a logjam at that defensive position right now.
What the right defenseman?
Yeah.
I mean, really, what good is it if Carlson and Letang are going to eat up most of the minutes on that side? What you're kind of wasting him. But it's just so different being defense in the NHL than being forward. I mean, you're out there so much more. So I get it. I'd like to see him, but I get that they'll probably bring him down. Does Crosby ever age? Because it looks like there's no drop off to his game for like the last 20 years, and he just looks incredible. Is he still as good as he was 5, 10, 15 years ago? Yes.
I mean,
yeah.
What was that? What was that movie, Benjamin Button, where the guy reversed? Like, is he somehow got that Benjamin Button thing going on here? I don't know. It's just amazing when you look at every night and you look at the stats, and there he is, at least a point a night, if not more. I mean, he's 15th in the league in scoring right now. 13 games played, 16 points, so he's still on pace for a point a game. It's just amazing, and he's still playing, 20 or more minutes a night. I mean, talk about don't take a guy for granted. I mean, just enjoy what you're watching, because this is not normal.
It's totally unprecedented. I've never seen any player be with a team for that long, and once they were with a team, to be the guy. Well, we're almost on 20 years now. Well, we are in 20 years now, and it's still happening. It is completely unprecedented.
21 years.
21 years.
Yeah.
21 years. And with with another guy, Malkin, who is, I mean, what did you say? He was like one of the leaders in points?
He's tied for 4th. He has 18 points.
Crazy. It's crazy. Now, I mean, I think he started strong last year, and then it kind of went off. So, yeah. I mean, but still, the thing with Malkin is he has his line mates are Mantha and Brazeau too. A couple big guys, and is that? like this is something we haven't had in a long time. Like big guys that, and some of them just go to the net. Is it that simple that you just need a big guy? They just need a big guy to go to the net.
I think he's really taking advantage of playing on that line that's so big. It used to be in past years, he's the big guy on the line and he's trying to make space for himself. Right. Now his wingers are out there making space for him, and he's really taking advantage of it. And he looks healthy too. Like, his shot looks really good. He's playing with a jump in his step. Even when he's out there on the power play, it like his passes are like crisp. But I think the thing that he's definitely taking advantage of more than anything is the size of his line mates, and that's opening up a lot of space for him to operate.
That has to be a Sullivan thing, that he didn't want people that big, because we haven't seen this for years, and really it hasn't been replaced since Chris Kunitz.
Yeah,
and I mean it's just so simple. Go to the net, be big and go to the net, and just create problems. It's almost that simple. It's not like Mantha's some great thing or Brazeau. Like I like every time I see Brazeau score a goal, I'm like, where did this guy come from? I don't know who he is or where he came from. He just showed up.
And it's Sullivan always wanted to play that speed game, and normally big guys aren't fast. So he didn't like those big guys in the lineup because they're not fast. Well, there's also a positive to having those big guys on the team, and that they're creating space. Patrick Hornquist, hey, he's a great player, and he had speed, and he tried to play that net front game, and he did it very well. Yeah. But he was like not a big guy. Like he's almost the exception to the rule. Like I think if you ask Mike Sullivan, he would rather have Connor Sherry out there playing in a top six role than Justin Brazeau or Anthony Mantha. And actually, that I know that's true because he has Connor Sherry on the Rangers right now. So, I don't think he's playing a top six role, but he's getting a lot of minutes. But my point is, it's just a philosophy. Sullivan wanted to play that speed game, and normally speed means smaller guys. Dan Muse, he's not. I mean, yeah, speed is nice, but I don't think that that's like the most important thing to him. I think that clearing the way and going to the net and wreaking havoc in front of the goalie is what he's looking for. Yeah. And it's simple.
It's almost that simple. It is almost that simple. Just be big and stay there in front of the net, and good things will happen. I know the Penguins have played the Rangers a couple times, and I mean one game was a win, one game was a loss, but they're not real. The Rangers aren't real high in the standings. Is Sullivan doing well with the Rangers, or is it just he needs to bring in his guys, or is it still early, or what's going on there?
Yeah, I would say it's still early. That's a pretty good lineup that he has there. I was just looking at the standings. They're in a wild card spot right now. I mean, we're only 13 games in, or 12, depending on what team you look at. And so they're going to be there at the end. But he's a good coach. Like, don't get me wrong, but we were talking off air. Sometimes the message just gets stale, and you need a new voice and a new message. And I think that's what happened here. I think Sullivan's still a good coach, and I think he'll have the Rangers in a playoff spot by season's end. And it was weird though how they couldn't score at home. I think they got shut out like in their first 3 games at home or something, like something really bizarre.
And they lost to like the worst teams.
Yes. But he has them already back into a wild card spot. I think they're like 6-5-2 or something like that. So they'll be there at the end. That lineup's too good, and especially with Shesterkin in goal.
Exactly.
I'd be really shocked if they weren't a playoff team come the end of the year.
Yeah. It helps when you have one of the best goalies on the planet. So,
yeah.
But does Raquel being out for 6 to 8 weeks, does that really hurt the team? Or, I mean, I see Hollander is playing on the top line now, but did it really hurt losing Raquel?
Yeah, I thought that it would really affect them like right off the bat, but then they put in a really solid performance, especially in the third period against Minnesota the other day. That's a huge loss, though. He is an anchor on that top line. He plays on the power play. That's over the course of time, you're going to see and notice his absence. But, this season is supposed to be all about getting the young guys some playing time and developing the young players. His injury opens an opportunity for, like you said, Hollander, maybe Koivunen, who knows? So, hopefully the injury leads to something positive happening with one of these younger players. And then, hey, hopefully they're still in a solid playoff position in 6 to 8 weeks when Raquel gets back, and then they'll be all the better for it. But that's definitely a big blow. It's unfortunate. And because he was playing really well at the time that he got injured, and that line seemed to really be clicking. But hey, when, like they say, when one door closes, another one opens, and hopefully one of these young kids or somebody else could take advantage of filling his spot in the top line there.
It's kind of a blessing, because if he had a really good year, it's almost a given that he was going to get traded. But now maybe they'll hold off on that, since he won't put up the big numbers. On the defense, another surprise is this Wotherspoon. Where the heck did he come from, and how did he get so good?
Yeah, I actually knew a little bit about him just because, I'm always watching NHL Network and things. He's got a little bit of a mean streak in him. I think you saw that at the end of the Philadelphia game the other night. He didn't take too kindly to somebody taking a shot at him at the end of the overtime period. I think he's, good. I wasn't expecting him to be the top line defensive pair for Carlson. I thought he'd be maybe the second pair or even down to the third pair, but he's really playing well in that role. I think that he is that solid kind of defensively responsible guy to play with Carlson. And right now that looks like, other than Brazeau, that looks like the pickup of the summer so far.
It's just crazy. I mean, I wasn't real thrilled with what Dubas was doing. And now he's looking like the genius of the century for, these draft picks, and they're hitting already. And basically every new acquisition is playing really well. It's just, he's looking really good right now. But also on the left side right now is Owen Pickering and Ryan Shea. Is Pickering, is he just... It sounds like he's not really impressing that much. And is it just time to call him a bust?
It's getting close. I think that I was shocked when Pickering didn't make the team out of camp. Well, not shocked because he didn't have a great camp, but I was fully expecting when camp started that he would make the team. And by all accounts, he did not have a great camp. And, he gets called back up here. He's not really, wowing people. Now, again, I know he's playing as the sixth defenseman, basically. But yeah, it's getting close to, I hate calling anybody a bust, but it's time for him to prove something. Like, we thought at this point he'd be playing in a top four role, and he's barely playing as the sixth defenseman. He's, as soon as the defensive core is healthy, he's going to be the first one to get sent back to Wilkes-Barre, and that's not what you're looking for in a top prospect.
He was a first round draft pick, right?
Yes.
Yeah. That's usually how it goes. It's such a crapshoot. It's not, you're not supposed to draft someone and they immediately contribute like Kindle. It's just so rare. Another surprise is that they're actually getting something out of Carlson. That they haven't been getting in years, for the most part. Sometimes he has his, hiccups, and he looks like he did in previous years, but he's playing solid and he's playing awesome. Like, what happened? Is he just deciding to listen to the coach?
Yeah, I don't know if he's buying in, or, it looks like he's bought in, I should say. he does still have that occasional game where he looks like Carlson from like last year and 2 years ago. The overtime game against Philadelphia, there were a couple of times I'm like, whoa, what is he doing out there? Even he made a play in the 3-on-3 overtime. I was like, why would you do that? But I would say 80% of the time that he's played this year, 80% of the games, he's looked like the guy that was the Norris Trophy winner in San Jose. Yeah, I think he's bought in. I think that, again, Wotherspoon as his partner has been kind of a nice steadying force over there. And I don't know, he just seems a little bit more confident in his shot. He seems to be taking more shots and making the smart play. Now, ask me again when they're on game like 50 or 60 if I still feel the same way. But yeah, I mean, they're not going to be able to trade him without eating a significant portion of that salary. So if you're not going to be able to trade him, get something out of him.
Right.
Make him the centerpiece of, quarterbacking your power play. Give him 25 minutes a night. And, hopefully the results continue the way he looks right now, because he looks really good. I think he had a 3-point night last week. I forget who the opponent was, but it's like, hey, 3-point night for a defenseman. That's pretty good. Good. I think I missed your question there.
Oh, so is it time to be concerned about Letang?
No, I think, his game, as we've known from the last 20 years, it ebbs and flows. I don't think that it's time to be worried about him. I think he's just going to have good games and bad games. He's going to have, 5 games in a row where he has a point, and then he might go 5 games in a row where he doesn't have a point and he's a -4. I don't think it's really time to get concerned with him. I mean, what you're getting with Letang. Like, some nights he's going to be great. And he's going to really be contributing to the offense. Other nights he's going to make boneheaded, turnovers and things like that, just like we were just talking about with Carlson. But for the most part, he's going to be kind of a steadying veteran force back there. And occasionally he's going to have a night, like I said, where you're like, wow, he had 3 points tonight. And he had some amazing defensive plays. And other nights you're going to be like, oh, he turned the puck over for the game-winning goal against. That's just what you get with Letang. But hey, he's still at the age of 38. He's still better than a lot of other defensemen back there that are half his age.
Okay, yeah, that's true. On to the goaltending. I think another shock is that Tristan Jarry is actually playing well. Is it just that the team is playing better in front of him and is more defensively conscious, or is he just having a good year so far, or what do you think is going on with Jarry?
I think it's a combination of the two, and I also think that having Shelov's here to kind of push him and be the competition is something that's kind of motivating him. Now, you could say, well, Nedeljkovic was here and pushing him last year and it didn't work. For whatever reason, I think Shelov's is pushing him and making him want to, win the net. And for whatever reason, when Nedeljkovic was here, maybe he didn't see him as a threat like Shelov's, because Shelov's is a young guy, that's really pushing for more time in the net. Maybe that's different as compared to when Nedeljkovic was. But I think both goalies have looked pretty good. To say, hey, they're the top tandem in the league, I wouldn't go that far. Because I think Shelov's is doing what Jarry was doing last year. I think there's been 3 games now where he's let up the first shot of the game.
Oh, jeez.
And obviously that's not what you're looking for. But I think it was the Vancouver game. Shelov's gave up the first shot of the game, then didn't give up another goal the rest of the game. So that's kind of the difference this year. A lot of those games last year where the first shot went in, it was like, well, the game's over. Like, morale's down.
Right. Oh yeah. It just
you could tell in the body language, but I don't think that's the case this year. And I think the goaltending has been good enough to, and again, we're only 13 games in. The goaltending has been good enough to be a playoff team, or it's playoff team level caliber. I'm not saying that they're gonna go in there as an 8 seed and steal a series with this goaltending tandem against like a 1 seed, but they're playing well enough to keep them in the playoff race, I would say.
The only problem with Sheloff is the during the shootouts. It's almost a guaranteed loss. He's just really bad at it. You almost want to like replace him just for the shootout or something.
Oh man, that shootout, the first one that he was in, well, the one at Philly, actually they've all been bad. I've never seen a goalie get beat so cleanly in shootouts, especially for a goalie that looks really good during the actual game.
What happens? Yeah.
But man, I almost would start to consider putting Jari in instead of him if they get to the shootout. Now in theory, there aren't that many shootouts throughout the course of the season, but man, he does not look good in the shootout at all.
I wonder if Jari is looking over the shoulder at Sheloff's, but also looking at the shoulder at Murashov, who looks absolutely insane down in Wilkes-Barre. Like, my goodness, he's just I don't even know if he's landing a goal, or if he has, it's only been like 1 or 2. It's insane.
I wish we got more of those Wilkes-Barre games on TV, because that team looks really, really good. Danton Heinen's like leading the AHL in points, or close to leading the league in points. Koivunen was right up there too before he got called up. And the goaltending, like you said, it's been unbelievable. I think Shelovs and Jari are both looking over their shoulder going, okay, I think our time is limited here.
Yeah, it's just a matter of time. Speaking of Morozov, who else might be coming up this year? I know McGroarty's hurt. I don't know when he's scheduled to come back, but you figure when McGroarty comes back, he has a spot on the club, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think that they'll obviously give him some conditioning when he comes back. But I think he would, when he's back, and just like you, I don't know off the top of my head when he's coming back. It seemed like a longer term injury, but I would think that he would be definitely one of the first call ups once he's healthy and gotten his conditioning back to where it needs to be. I mean, again, Pickering's been up here, Koivunen's been up. I think you're going to see guys like that go up and down throughout the course of the season. But I almost don't want to break up the momentum of the AHL team. I'd like to see them just, really stick together down there and bond as a group, and maybe even win the Calder Cup championship. I mean, that team, especially with Miroshov and net, looks kind of unstoppable, really.
Yeah, they look so good. I just saw that he just started skating with in Wilkes-Barre, so maybe he might be on his way pretty soon.
Unfortunately, there's going to be more injuries up here, so there's going to be opportunities for all those guys to come up here.
Right. So, I mean, do you think this is sustainable? Do you think like they could keep winning like this, or not even, I mean, not winning at this pace? That would be insane, but still, just playing really well and racking up points. Yeah.
I mean, I think if they stick to this system that they're playing, I think that they can, the system is just from my observation, I haven't talked to Dan Muse, X's and O's with him, but it looks like they're trying to create offense from playing solid defense, and they definitely have a much better mindset and plan to protect leads this year, which has been pretty obvious. Just those two things alone will get you points in this league. They've actually come back in 2 or 3 games this year to tie it up and, get that overtime point in games that last year they would have never got that overtime point. And, a couple of the games where they got the overtime point this year, they really had no business getting a point in. So I do think that they can continue to rack up points. I don't think that they're ever going to go on like a 8 or 9 game winning streak or anything like that. I don't think they're that good of a team, but I think you'll see like they had an 8-game point streak that got snapped on Sunday in Winnipeg. I think you might see things like that, like, hey, they've gotten points in 5 out of the last 6 games, or they've gotten points in 6 out of 7, or they've won 3 in a row in regulation or something like that, which is fine. I mean, you keep that pace up, you're going to be a playoff team. You're going to probably be a 6, 7, 8 seed. And then, hey, who knows what happens at that point, because the East this year is not the greatest. I mean, you look at the standings right now, and Montreal is the top team, tied with the Penguins and the Devils with 18 points. So they've all played varying numbers of games. But, I mean, then you look down below the wild card line, and there's the Capitals, who were, I think, the number 1 team in the East last year, as far as record-wise, and the Panthers, who were the 2-time defending Cup champ, and Toronto, who's always supposed to be the Cup, contender. They're well below the wild card line. But again, I mean, I think the Islanders are the worst team in the conference with 11 points, and the top team in the conference has 18. So we're not far enough along in the season to make proclamations here. But I do think that this team is good enough with the system that they're playing, where they can chug along and pick up points pretty regularly and be 6, 7, 8 seed in the playoffs.
It's crazy. It's a little annoying because I think they should have made this change like a year or 2 ago. I think they waited too long, but hey, it's happening now, and it's just so nice. It's just so nice. I got tired of when they were winning the first couple games and people are like, oh, now we're not going to get McKenna. Like, why would you root for your team to lose, you dummy? Like, what?
Yeah, and there's no guarantee. Even if they finish with the worst record in the league, you're still not guaranteed you're going to get him. And I don't know. Hey, I guess look at it this way. If they would have fired Sullivan like maybe 2 years ago, maybe they didn't get Kindle in the draft this year.
That's true.
Yeah,
that's true. I forget what happened with the Rangers. Did they decide to keep their pick, or did they give the pick to the Penguins? I forget.
I think that they ended up giving the pick to the Penguins because they ended up with two first-round picks.
Right. Oh, that's right. Yeah. So, which, I guess the Rangers weren't doing so well for a while. It's like, oh, that might be actually be a good pick for them. So we'll see. But we'll see. It's exciting. It's fun. I'm pleasantly surprised. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's been, and not only are they collecting points, but they're very entertaining to watch.
Just entertaining and just not frustrating because you knew it was happening. You knew when you saw a third period lead, it's like, oh, here we go. We know we're going to screw it up. It's just it was just so frustrating. It's just nice that they're playing something just sound, just like not insane hockey.
Yeah, exactly. It's like you're not turning the TV off after every game thinking to yourself, that was one of the most frustrating hockey games I've ever watched in my life. Like, I think it was last year or 2 years ago. They blew like a 3-goal lead to Calgary in like the last 2 minutes of the game or something.
It was unbelievable. It was unbelievable.
I don't think you're going to see too many games like that this season.
And it's just like, why are you not changing the way you're playing? Just play defense. That's all we want. But
exactly.
Yeah. So how can people find you, follow you, and get more of your work?
Yeah, you could go to vincecom.com, and I pretty regularly put articles up there, usually pertaining to hockey. Sometimes I branch out into other sports, but again, vincecom.com, or you can follow me on Twitter. I'm usually tweeting during Penguin games for sure, and sometimes during Steeler games, and baseball's over now, but was tweeting some stuff about the World Series as well. But on Twitter or X, whatever you want to call it, you can find me at PGHVC.
I watched that game last night, that World Series. My goodness, I feel for Toronto. Oh man,
that is their Francisco Cabrera moment. That the poor 10, 11-year-old kids that were watching that like I was when Sid Bream slid into home plate. That's going to stick with them forever. I felt so bad for them. And I mean, just from an outsider's perspective, it was a great World Series, but boy, did I feel bad for the Toronto fans.
I saw somebody tweeted that they were a Blue Jays fan, I guess, in Toronto or something, and he woke up his young son. He's like, I want you to see this. Our team's about to win a championship.
Oh, no.
I want you to remember this, son. And then he's like, great. I just woke him up for the heartbreak of his life.
Scarred him for life.
I am still not over Sid Bream.
Me neither.
I still can't believe that happened. I can't. And ironically, I think if the Pirates did win that, I think they would have faced the Blue Jays that year.
Yeah, they would have.
It's just. I mean, it's funny because I mean I really don't. I used to be a huge baseball fan, and I just hate how it's run, so I don't pay attention to it. And plus, the Pirates are depressing, so I don't pay attention to it too much. But wow, did I become a Blue Jays fan that night? I was rooting for them so hard, and when they were up in the ninth inning, and that I mean that they had their closer in the ninth inning. That guy is. Shame on him because he's the one that really blew it.
Yeah,
he's their Stan Belinda.
You know, I was really hoping that Isaiah Kiner-Falefa would have scored the game-winning run in the World Series.
A former Pirate.
So that everybody can make more fun of the Pirates, that they let the guy go for nothing, and he scored the game-winning run in the World Series. That would have been so amazing, but it just wasn't meant to be, I guess.
I saw you tweet something like, if only the Pirates had someone like somebody fundamentally sound like Isaiah Kiner-Falefa. Like, oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, because he laid down the perfect bunt on that. I forget what inning it was. Might have been, I think it was the ninth inning. Yeah. And he laid down the perfect bunt. And like, you know, they had this guy. Sure, he's probably not part of their long-term plans, but he obviously had some sort of value. They could have traded him for whatever, a low A prospect, but instead they just released him at the end of the year, and the team that's in the World Series
ends up on the World Series team, making a major contribution in the biggest game of the year. Yeah,
exactly.
But God, yeah, I just feel for the Blue Jays. My goodness, you're so good. And then that play where the catcher was just had the foot off the base for a second. It's like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, that was Kiner-Falefa got thrown out at home. That was the play. And, you know, a lot of people were debating, like, did he have a big enough secondary lead?
Yeah.
Would he have been safe if he just ran through the bag instead of sliding, because it was a force play, so he didn't really need the slide. You know, you could debate all of these things, like, Guerrero swung at a 3-0 pitch in the bottom of the ninth. He could have been on base, and maybe he, right. I mean, you could analyze everything. It's
right.
There's so many little things.
It would have been weird if they did the review, the instant replay of that, and it would have been weird if they decide, like, oh, you know what, we reverse the standing and the Blue Jays scored a run and they just won. It's like, imagine winning a World Series on a reversal of a replay call.
Oh yeah, it's like it would be the 1999 Stanley Cup Final all over again when Brett Hull had his big toe in the crease.
What a weird thing. If you have one little millimeter in the goalie crease, then it's not a goal. Meanwhile, now they're just knocking goalies over and it's okay. But at the time, like, you had one little piece that's disqualified. And
then I think they changed the rule, like, literally the next day. They're like, okay, we don't care about it in the crease anymore.
Yeah. I mean, was that Buffalo and Dallas or something?
Yeah.
They still talk about that. They're still.
I know it still haunts Buffalo to this day.
Oh my goodness. And that just makes it's sad, really. Buffalo, Chicago. Now you see actually Montreal doing well, but all these teams that are in the Detroit's going into these rebuilds, like these 10-year rebuilds that take forever. It's like, man, that just has to be depressing. It's like, oh yeah, wait till the future. I mean, it's like, in baseball, you're screwed because there's no salary cap.
Right.
You could be in hell forever. But in hockey and in a salary cap sport, you could get better quickly, but they're not.
No. Yeah. Baseball's so frustrating. And can you imagine the Penguins not being in the playoffs for what's it for Buffalo now, going on past 10 years, I think.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And they see what's his name with the? Did they trade him to the Knights?
Eichel.
Yeah. They said like that was a draft where they could have had McDavid, but they ended up with the number 2 pick. It's like, oh, we settle on Eichel, who is still very good, and that did not end well. and then now
I mean, Eichel's still one of the best players in the league. I just looked it up. Buffalo hasn't made the playoffs in the last 14 seasons.
Oh, God.
Yeah. That's brutal.
With like no hope. It's not like they're actually any good. Oh, actually, didn't a lot of their players end up in Florida and they're like key players for like they go elsewhere and they play well.
Yeah. That's it's kind of like being a Pirates fan.
Exactly. I can't wait till Paul Skeens is winning World Series for the Dodgers in a few years.
That very likely be the case.
Mm-hmm. All right. Hey, thanks so much for coming on.
All right. Anytime. Thanks.
All right. I'll see you.